It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 5th day of November, 2020. Coming to you from Central Virginia. I'm in a little town called Forest, right outside of Lynchburg. If you're new to this channel, welcome aboard. We do this every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock, where we talk about all facets of the travel and cruise industry, especially travel and cruise industry news. Before I get to the actual couple news stories for today, first, a quick thank you to Bonnie. Bonnie, thank you for the donation. Always appreciate that, guys. You'll notice that I posted the PayPal link, something that I have trouble remembering. So it is in the chat box for those of you that if you should want to do that. But anyway, thank you, Bonnie. That's always appreciated. The other thing is just on a personal note. We still are having the issues with health issues, I guess you would call it. I still have the catheter in. I have to go to a urologist at 1 o'clock today. So I'll have a report back from that on Saturday. So I still am a little uncomfortable, shall we say. But they did some more testing yesterday, and it's going to a urologist today. So we'll see what happens. All right. So let's get to the main stories for today. You'll probably notice my lead tag was no cruise ban from the Italian government. Looks like COVID-19 is trying to interfere with cruise operations in Europe after a successful restart in August this year. A reasonably successful couple of months, the Italian government, in a surprise move last night, decided not to ban cruise ships after a divide between ministers. This means that both Costa cruises and MSC cruises are still able to continue cruising in Italy. After an upsurge in cases both in Italy as in other countries in mainland Europe, the government of Italy last night was expected to announce a ban on cruise ships, and that it was set to announce today after Prime Minister Conte signed the law. While many in Italy were expecting some form of lockdown in the coming days, with new cases over 30,000 per day, the government has now opted to increase protection measures with new lockdowns and rules, but cruise operators won't be shut down. It was previously expected that all ships sailing under the Italian flag are suspended from operation from the moment the new law was to be signed. Cruises would have needed to finish by November 8th, was what the plan was. Italian flag ships would need to disembark all passengers and crew, according to the draft document from the Italian government. Ships sailing under different national flags would only be allowed to enter Italian ports for idle berthing. As it looks at the moment, cruise ships are looking to remain safe as long as cruise lines keep in place their strict health protocols. MSC Cruises has suspended sailings of the Magnifica from November 8th to December 18th after the restrictions on travel in France and Germany, which are two of the key markets. Grandiosa will continue and extend its sailings in the Western Med until March 27th. MSC 2021 World Cruise has also been canceled. The Magnifica will be back to sail an 8-day Christmas itinerary, then return to its current 10-night cruises. So that's the Magnifica. She will be halted for a while. But, folks, the reason I make that, obviously, with the situation we have in this country with the CDC and most of our cruise lines backing off a little bit further now until they're trying to understand what the CDC needs from them before they can try it here. And here it looked like the Italian government was going to shut down cruises again because of their health situation. And they said, no, they're doing it right and they're doing it safely, and we're going to continue on. I just hope that that's not a mistake. A little worried about it, but that's what had happened. So at least for now, the Grandiosa and Costa will continue sailing in Italy, at least for now. So, all right, everybody knows that there was an election day here day before yesterday that still hasn't, the outcome has not been determined in this country yet. However, there's some of you may or may not know that there was more on the ballot than just President Trump and Biden. The majority of voters in Key West, Florida, have supported imposing restrictions on cruise ship disembarking in the area. The 2020 election results in Key West, which also held a referendum on 3 cruise industry related issues. 60.7% of the voters said they want to prohibit cruise ships that have 1,300 or more passengers on board from disembarking guests and crew in Key West. This means that most major cruise lines, including Carnival and Royal Caribbean, would no longer visit Key West since all of their cruise ships are larger than this. 63.34% of the voters supported limiting persons disembarking from cruise ships to 1,500 persons per day total. And an overwhelming 81.19% of Key West residents voted in favor of giving priority to cruise lines that have the best environmental and health records. So basically, folks, Key West has banned cruise ships. I don't know if that's going to have any kind of time limit on it, but for now, cruise ships are not going to go to Key West anymore, which is that's sad. That was a favorite port of mine. And just when we're starting our new program with the Cruise Amigos for Support a Port, and I even used Key West in there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play that clip again, so I don't have my brain's not working real well today, so I'm not thinking of what I need to say. But I'll play a clip that was from the show on Tuesday. By the way, if you guys missed out on it Sunday, the Cruise Amigos announced the formation of basically our new program that we're going to start called Support a Port, which is going to be a foundation where we're going to raise money for the ports themselves. And this kind of grew was an outgrowth of the fact that a cruise ship, they haven't gone into ports forever. I mean, since February now. And all those people that are working to service the cruise industry, be those, my friend in Nassau that makes me the pina coladas every time I got off the boat in Nassau, or the guys that run the hop on, hop off bus tours, or the guys that do the carriage tours, or any of those kind of things. I mean, they've had no income, none, because there are no cruise ships. And that's going to continue on. Let's assume that we start sailing from the United States in January. And things get back over time to a normal basis. At least for the next, God knows how long, the cruise ships are going to totally control excursions, which means that a lot of these independent contractors that live off the cruise industry are not going to be able to make any money because, people, they won't be in the bubble that the cruise ships are going to require. So the Cruise Amigos came up with the idea of forming Support a Port. We are going to raise funds. We formed a foundation. This is all being done legally. It's a nonprofit foundation. We are going to start raising funds for the individual port. Basically, I'm going to look at it if I'm on a cruise, the money that I normally would spend when I don't go on excursions normally. You guys all know that. I get off the boat and I go to a bar and have a couple cocktails and have lunch, or I enjoy the tours, the hop on, hop off bus tours and the trolley tour, like in Key West. That I love to do because I get to hear a guy talking for an hour, tell me about the area and funny stories and things. I enjoy those. That part of it I enjoy. Or going to a locals bar, or a Margaritaville, or Senior Frogs, or one of those, and sit and watch people and have something to eat and a couple cocktails. So I'm going to take that money and I'm going to donate. Let's say if I was going to go on a cruise that stopped in Nassau, I would take the money that I would spend. I'm going to donate it to Port-a-Port to go to Nassau. Now, what the Support-a-Port Foundation is going to do is they're going to hold that money until it gets enough money. It's probably going to be $100 is going to be our window. When we get $100 for a specific port, we're going to work with our partners on doing this and find the right location for that money to go in Nassau. And we're going to get those funds to the folks in Nassau that need it the most. All right, that was me the other day. So I was talking a little bit about Support-a-Port. So what I really need everybody to do, if you would, I need to get the link to our Facebook page, Support-a-Port. You can look it up. Go to our Facebook page and like it, please. And also, some of you have friends that are in the cruise, that like the cruise and stuff. Let them know about this. We're looking at this being a big, major, worldwide project that can help a lot of people, just from us in the cruise business, the cruise industry, the cruise community, to help support the folks that have helped us and supported us all these years that we've visited their ports, and they're hurting now. So that's Support-a-Port. Again, you'll notice the big orange logo. You'll know you're in the right place. Support-a-Port. And if you go and like that page, we'd appreciate it. And then, of course, Sunday on our Cruise Amigos show this week is going to be a soft launch. We're going to talk about the program and more specifics on what we're doing and so forth. Probably have a hard launch the following Sunday. And then maybe Pete was talking that we'd do a show, Alaska specific show the following week. So that's all coming ahead on the Cruise Amigos. So we'd appreciate, folks, any support on that, because there's a lot of cruise people. Hell, I don't know me from Adam. So we can use your help getting the word out. And those of you that are absolutely cruise nuts like I am, the Royal Caribbean wants to if they want to cruise from a U.S. port anytime soon, it needs a permit from the CDC, as we've talked about ad nauseum, as part of the new conditional framework the agency has issued. That will include the company having a number of trial cruises using employees and volunteers as stand-in passengers to test safety and health protocols. We're going to be doing a series of sailings using our employees and other volunteers to test our protocols and make modifications, said Vicki Freed, Senior Vice President of Sales and Trade Support and Service, on a webinar on yesterday. Freed said Royal Caribbean will be looking for volunteers. She hasn't quite worked out the details yet, but she's looking for volunteers. So some of you want to volunteer to be a guinea pig on a Royal Caribbean cruise? Hey, that might work out. All right, as far as the weather goes, this is going to be real quick this morning. Ada is, of course, downgraded all the way through. It's down to like 30 miles an hour. It's still banging around in Central America. It is going to come back to sea. It's going to re-intensify, probably to at least tropical storm strength, probably cross over Cuba sometime this weekend. The timing on it's just still up in the air, and it's gonna hit us here somewhere in the States. It could hit South Florida. It could hit the Keys. It could go on up into the Gulf and hit the Gulf Coast again. Who knows? Still no idea on when. A lot depends on how much intensification and so forth it goes through. So Ada's still kicking around, and she's just devastated Central America. Oh, my goodness. So I'm going to jump over to chat real quick because I do have to go to see this urologist. Sounds awful. Okay. Bonnie posting the link was helpful. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Bonnie says, Chillie, you do anything so you don't have to have that endoscope put down your throat. No, the catheter's a bit much. Yeah, I wish it was just the endoscope thing is the only problem I'm having right now, Bonnie. Matter of fact, they called today, and that's set up for December the 18th. So I get to do that the week before Christmas. So anyway, that's happening then. Of course, everybody's saying good morning. Gretchen's here. Amy's here. Nikki's with us. How's things down in Jacksonville, Nikki? Sonny's with us. Sonny down in Mississippi. Bonnie says, I'm wondering if my Explorer of the Seas cruise in January become a test cruise. Will I get my money back? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I have not seen any schedule yet as to what ships any of the cruise lines are going to start with and use as the test cruise things. I haven't seen any of that yet. I'm sure we're going to hear more about it. So Tom's with us. Tom had a little procedure yesterday. Says a little sore today. I talked to him earlier today. Amy says, Oceana, Azamara, Regent, Silver Sea, those ships would fit Key West roles, but they are owned by Carnival, NCL, and Royal. I don't think too many cruise ships are going to visit Key West. I'm looking at this with this band. I think it's done. I mean, maybe some of the really small boutique type lines will still go in there, but I think the majors are they're going to say the hell with you. I enjoy Key West. That's one of my favorite spots. I mean, there's some great bars there on Duval Street, and I love that the trolley. I've done the trolley 2 or 3 times because I just enjoy the guy talking. He does a great job in telling stories about have you ever heard the Key West, the stories about the chickens? And they go back for, I don't know, for however they got those chickens there. They're wild chickens, and there's endangered species. You can't screw with them. But anyway, I like Key West. Bonnie says Key West doesn't need cruise ships. They're a popular tourist destination. They make a lot of money through hotels being completely booked. Well, that could be too. Maybe they don't need us, I guess. Sonny wants to know, Tom, are you all glued together? You know, and does one leg stick to the other? I don't understand how this glue thing works, Tom. But of course, we're teasing with Tom now. Yeah, he says, yep, all sealed up. I think that's awesome. Tom says, I'm wondering if my next cruise on NCL Sky, which only holds 2,400, if operating at reduced capacity, and if it is under 1,300, would that work? No, I don't. I think they're looking at the size of the ship, not actually the number of people on board. Have you ever been on Sky before, Tom? I love the Sun, which is the Sky's sister, and they're almost identical. The Sun was one of my favorite ships ever, and it's small, and it's not fancy, and it's not, there's not all the bells and whistles, but it was a great ship. Bonnie says, my sister was down in Key West a bunch of years ago, and there was a no swim order due to water pollution. Well, that could be. I'm sure the cruise lines have not helped that situation over the years. Of course, a lot of that's changing now. But anyway, it's just another black eye for the cruise industry. Tom says he called Royal Caribbean this morning and downgraded the 2-bedroom grand suite to an aft balcony since it looks like Bruce and Jen will not join us, especially since YouTube had stolen all his ad revenue. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. I mean, my revenue's gone to hell, but they haven't stolen it. It's just they don't have the ads like they used to. Anyway, I'm not sure what the situation is with Bruce's ad revenue. Key West is a very special little island, very unique. I love Key West. I really do. I've been there, not only from cruise ships. I've been there a couple of times on my own, and I've had fun there. And that was the original Margaritaville was in Key West. I've been there. And Tom says, good news, I'll get a $2,800 refill. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, you can book a couple cruises with that. Just keep rolling it over. Tom says Key West was very busy even at night when no ships were in port. Oh yeah, man, that's a party town. It's great. Okay, Emily's with us. Hey, Emily, how was your day playing electioneering, whatever person? So, and thank you for your service, Emily. The guys that have worked the polls this year, especially this year, and that are doing the recounts, oh my goodness, my hat's off to them. Whether you agree or disagree with the whole way the election was run this year and with the mail-in ballots and all that stuff and the amount of extra time it's taken to do it because of poor legislative planning in some of the states like Pennsylvania, not letting them get started early. They could have been like Florida. Florida had the same kind of mail-in ballots and early voting, and were able to start processing it as they went, and they were relatively done early in the night, Tuesday night. Now, Pennsylvania didn't do that. That was a mistake on their part, which is why we're waiting 4 days to get a thing finalized. But anyway, I'm not getting started on a rant. So Tom says, I enjoyed the story of how Key West succeeded from the U.S. and was truly the Conch Republic. Yeah, I tell you what, I enjoy hearing those stories like that, and I do that in a lot of ports, but Key West was always just kind of special for me. Bonnie sending her best wishes to Tom for speedy recovery. Tom says the procedure had a probe enter the vein in the leg and inject sealant at a number of stops as the tube was lowered into the leg further. Sealant seals the blood veins and they are absorbed back into the body. Wow. Okay, I learned how actually what that I've heard of that procedure being done, but I had no idea how it was. Chillie Falls, they are retroactively removed all the TWB ad revenue back to mid-September. Why? Did he do something wrong or something? I don't know. Huh. Let's see. Emily says, yes, she's recovered. We had 100 people at 6 a.m., then some people here and there. So it was so slow in the afternoon until night. Many people voted early. Yeah, this was the whole election cycle is different now, which is because of COVID. And I think is probably, I could see this becoming the way it's done because we had so many people vote. So much more than we've ever had before, and the states and municipalities and so forth, they'll get a handle on doing it. But I mean, I think it's terrific that you had a lot of new people vote this time, just because things were differently, and they, whether you wanted to agree with it or not, allowing us to vote by mail because of the pandemic, or to vote early so you didn't have to go stand in line and put your health at risk, was a good move. So anyway, Tom wants to know if Emily found any missing votes hiding anywhere. And Emily says, no, don't tell anybody. It's pretty cool. And I guess everybody's asking Emily about the poll business. Let's see. Key West is like Grand Cayman. They have an attitude about cruise passengers. We're not on their level. I've always wondered about Grand Cayman too. Grand Cayman tends to be a negative toward the cruise industry as well. And I mean, they really are supported by the cruise industry, even more so than Key West. I don't know. I guess because, the cruise industry's got a lot of bad history behind it and has done a lot of dumb things. And that's the kind of thing we got to overcome and work on. So anyway, all right, that's going to wrap me up today, folks, because I do have to go to this awful doctor to go look at plumbing. And I will report back to you on Saturday with whatever the heck they find and want to do or whatever. And anyway, don't stay out of trouble, folks. As always, stay healthy, wear your masks, socially distance. We're going to keep that up for a long time yet. Stay away from people as much as you can. Stay home if you can. That's the easiest way. And I will see you again on Saturday, or before then if something major happens. This is the old fat travel guy. I'll see you next time. Later, y'all.
Thank you for watching today's Travel and Cruise Industry News. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chillie's Cruises.